everyone, it's Kylie. How are you? I have a journal to show you today. It's a bit different to what I normally do because I sometimes like to challenge myself, I guess, to do something a bit different. And I was inspired by Nazi's latest journal, and she has an Etsy shop, Amity Bloom, and I think she's also on Instagram. And my friend Gina on Instagram did a very similar journal. I think she was also inspired by Nazi. So that's how this different style of journal happened for me. I probably won't make another one because I tried to jam too much into it, and when I undo the ribbon, it will explode open. And when I had it full of ephemera, it was just a bit hysterical. So I've taken quite a lot of ephemera out so that it can actually close. But I really enjoyed the process. And another reason I was inspired by Nazi to do this journal is because I struggled to use my own printable kits in creations and focus on one particular kit. And I've had lots of people ask me how I use my kits because they're being sort of called mini kits. They're only 5 pages long or in size. The reason for the 5 pages is I use photographic images. I scan all the originals and I turn them into like a photographic image, which has a high resolution, and it often comes out clearer than a PDF file. So that's why I only have 5 pages. Etsy will only let you have 5 images in a listing. The other reason is I get confused myself where zip files go. So if I was to do bigger kits, then it would be a zip file, which is a compressed file, and you unzip it and it opens up in your computer. So that's why I do 5-page kits. What I do, and I do understand that people like to use one kit to theme an entire journal, what I do is I print the kit twice. And I've used the Blue Christmas Angel kit for this journal, so I will show you the different things that I've done with the one kit. So it does have a Blue Angel theme throughout, but I've obviously added some original ephemera like I normally do anyway. What I'm going to do very quickly is just show you the pink angel kit, because my next journal will be made out of this kit, printed twice. So I have collage pages in my kits typically, but when you print it twice, you can use one of the copies as a decorative collage page, and the other one you can actually cut out aspects from the page as like a tuck spot, or fussy cut an image out of the kit to use to make or layer ephemera. Here you could actually cut this postcard out and use that as a piece of ephemera in your journal, or glue it down as a pocket. You could also cut out this sort of saying here, season's greeting, and use that as a tuck spot or a pocket. So this is a decorative page, but it's also a page where you have 3 elements you can use as ephemera or decoration in your journal. So that's the second page of it, obviously. This one here, I would actually maybe cut that whole section out there and use that as a tuck spot in a journal, which I'll show you in the one I've made. Here you can cut out the whole card and use that as a card in your journal, or you could fussy cut the journal out of the page as well. So this page has a couple of options in terms of going beyond it just being a decorative collaged page. Here again, you could cut that out as a tuck spot. You could fussy cut the bow out. You could cut that lace strip out down there and use that as something like washi tape, and you can cut that out as a piece of ephemera. This could also be made into a tag, so you could cut that into a tag and you would have the bow at the base of the tag, which is what I'm going to be doing with this kit. So I'll use it a bit differently to the Blue Angel kit. Here I have an envelope I've opened up, so you can actually cut this out, fold it in half and sew it, or use it as a double tuck or a flip out, or you could use it over the top of a journal page, or make it into a little journal. Again, you can just fussy cut the little angels out and use them as decorative elements. And here are two other pieces of ephemera. Again, you could fussy cut that angel out and use her as decoration as well. So that's that page. And here, this could be cut out as a little tuck spot. This could be a pocket. You could cut that down out as a pocket. She can be fussy cut or cut out onto a tag or a card. But that's how you can sort of extend that one 5-page kit, and you can make it into a 10-page kit. So you'll see in this journal it is single signature, and I've just used some twine to bind it on the outside for something a bit different. And it won't explode open, but it doesn't sit flat. So but I did have a lot of fun making it. That's a fussy cut angel from one of the decorative pages, and I've just used vintage wallpaper, some space for journaling. That's a vintage wallpaper tag, and an original French receipt from 1893. I love the colour of the greens and blues. Here you can see I've fussy cut around one of the decorative pages, and I've also fussy cut an angel off another page and made it into a tuck spot with some lace or trim just sewn at the top, and I've glued that on. Little pocket here on a Belgian telegram. That's just one of the decorative pages, and I've turned that into a big side pocket with some trim. And here I've cut out one of the elements and just made it into something sweet and decorative. This is a little flip with another fussy cut angel as a tuck spot, so you can tuck something in there. I've used the Amity Bloom washi tape. Here I've put a really gorgeous vintage glass leaf as a charm, and I really love things dangling off journals and making a little sound. So I just pin that back at the top there. And as I was sort of saying, I've fussy cut a part of the decorative page to make a tuck spot, and that's a really gorgeous glass button there on some music paper, original music paper, an original French flower card with a little bit of trim and some wallpaper there. I really love using crochet medallions from tablecloths and doilies to make little tabs. And here I've just sort of folded that over, but I've also just sewn that as a side belly band, so you could put something in there, which I did have, but there was too much. And here is a piece of ephemera from the kit, and I've just added some fabric and trim to the bottom. You can stick it on, but I sew it on usually, so that just sort of tucks in there to add some layers. And I have used some trim, and I've sewn it on at the top and the bottom of this page, and it wraps around to the other side, so there's a little tuck spot here with some gorgeous wallpaper in it. Here I've made a huge pocket at the top. This is something I think that Nazi does quite a bit in her journals. I can't quite open it, but I have stitched around to create a big pocket there. And here again, fussy cut a little pocket out of a decorative page. Another piece of ephemera with some trim on the bottom, and I've tucked that into a tuck and cut that out. This is sort of a double tuck, so you can have something tucked in there and underneath. And some really amazing, this green, wow, it's so rich, and that's just a music score cover. A vintage envelope I've just put in the center, so that is a pocket, and then I've got a trim I've made as a tuck spot there. On this printed ephemera, I've just added a little piece of embroidered ribbon and some washi tape. And I've just got a wallpaper tag there, and again that's another double tuck spot. I haven't gone too heavily with the season's greetings in this journal. Who knows what the pink angel one's going to look like. I never know until I start making it. Some original pieces of ephemera there, just tucked into a little piece of trim, and some washi tape down the side. This is another one of those cute tuck spots cutting out of the kit. And here you can see that piece of embroidered trim on the other side of the French receipt from 1954. I've got a little tuck spot there for ephemera. This is a side tuck, so a nice big tuck spot there. And these are two of the collage pages from the kit stuck together, but you could print them back to back if you wanted to. I've done that because it gives you more storage space for things. Sewing it together, and again fussy cut and just glue the bottom bit down so the rest of it acts as like a little clip holding it to the page. On this piece of ephemera from the kit, I have actually put another piece of paper on the back and sewn them together because this little decorative element in the corner was quite heavy, and when you have something heavy you really do need to sort of reinforce the card a little bit, or it gets a bit too floppy. Well, that's what I like to do anyway. You don't have to do it, obviously. A piece of ephemera and one of my collaged cards in there, and that I think was cut out from one of the pages with some lace. So I've almost got something from the kit on each double page, so there's something there on those pages, there's that on those pages, there's those on those, you know, so it's sort of there is a lot in the kit if you print it out twice. I've also got a vintage button there, and I just absolutely love those glass buttons, and that's just pinned onto a ruffle. Again, the decorative page with the pocket at the top, and another pocket with one of my collected and hoarded embroidered postcards. I am, as I said in my last video, letting some of my special things go to a good home, and these were usually in the war, and there was a little note that they could tuck into this front part here, which I think is just so amazing. I've only collected a couple where the original little note was still in the embroidered postcard. Yeah, but often it was to their sister or to their mum, or birthday ones. That's the other side of that Belgian telegram. Here I've created a little pocket on the flip out, so you can stick something in there. You could also stick something behind it and clip it on so that it held it in place as well. So lots of opportunities to expand into this journal. That's another fussy cut tuck spot from the kit, and an original postcard of a gorgeous young lady. and that's tucked into the other side of that French receipt. This broderie anglaise pocket I've also sewn all the way around the receipt, so it sort of tucks under. That did create kind of a bulkiness to the journal, so I'm not sure I would do that again in a single signature one. Some gorgeous wallpaper on the back and that trim that was sewn on. So that's how I've used one of my 5-page kits to theme a whole journal. This journal I think is 14, there's 14 pages, so that's 28, which would be 56 individual pages. So it's not a tiny journal, it is quite a full single signature. But yeah, I think quite thoroughly themed with that one mini kit. Now, I do have some administration to quickly talk to you about. I continue to have a lot of people request custom orders. I do sincerely apologize. I cannot do custom orders. As soon as there's any pressure for me to make something, I lose all my energy to create. I'm not sure why that happens, but it is a horrible phenomenon. And I have a lot of people request custom orders, so I just wouldn't have the time to actually have anything in my shop available, anything tangible available. The other thing that keeps happening is a lot of people, when they miss out on a journal, they ask me to let them know when the next one is going into my shop, or I feel an obligation to offer that as an option. The last journal that I put in my shop, Faith, I had to contact 12 people just before I put Faith in my shop. One of those people managed to, actually I don't even think the person that managed to buy Faith was a person that I let know, and then people get upset because they missed my message. I'm not going to do that anymore, because when you get upset, I get upset. And I had quite a few upset people because you're living in a completely different time zone to me. I am Australian, I live in Australia, I was born here. I'm very happy to be Australian, so I'm a working mum, so I do my crafting and I put things in my shop when the time suits me, because that's the only way I can do it and still feel motivated to create things. So in light of that, because I don't want anyone to be upset, and I don't want to be upset either, I have decided to have a shop update at the end of every month. So I'm going to be a little busy bee and make as many pretty things as I can, and then I will announce my shop update towards the end of the month in my Etsy shop announcements and also on Instagram. And I am still going to film flip throughs of what I make, but they won't be available until the shop update, which I will have in the description of the item until it is sold in the shop update or after, and then I will update in the description whether it's still available or whether it has been sold. I'm doing this because I think it's the fairest way for everyone to know what's going on. And I should have been doing this sooner and been more organized. But it's gotten to a point where I feel like it's the only choice that I have. So yes, but please bear in mind, I am in Australia and my shop update will be at a time that works around with my work and family commitments. I'm not going to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do a shop update and expect to get back to sleep. So I apologize in advance if that inconveniences anyone, but I do my best. So yes, thank you so much for watching my flip through, and thank you so much for listening to my little administration update, and I hope you've been inspired to re-look at your printed kits and repurpose them and cut out tuck spots and fussy cut elements out of smaller kits or even big kits that you have pages left over because you don't want to use the whole page. And I will be doing different things again in the Pink Angel kit, which will be my next one. So thank you for watching. Bye.